Minister G.L. Harden here, and today I want to talk about servitude. For many years, as I grew up watching my mother and my grandmother, they were domestics, or another term would be they were maids. And on some occasions, when I was growing up around 4 or 5 years of age, they would take me to work with them if I was not feeling well and I had to stay home from school. So there I would watch my mother and or my grandmother begin to clean these people's homes, ironing their clothes, washing their clothes, cleaning each room in detailed, washing the dishes, cleaning out the refrigerator, or whatever that was needed to be done inside the home. There my mother and my grandmother did with excellence. And that was my first vision of servitude. And as I grew older, I began to work in the hospitality field. And there I was a server myself, and I began to serve people as well for tips. So there I am, I guess you could say, doing the same job my mother and my grandmother did, being the servant for others. And yet these are two jobs, when you really look about it, they are called minimal jobs, menial jobs, or low-wage paying jobs. And they're not looked upon as a profession of any kind, but just jobs that are merely enough to get you by. Therefore, for many people on these jobs, you tend not to be respected or appreciated for what you're doing. People believe that no matter what they're paying you, it's better than nothing because you chose to do a job that is subservient. Yet, I was made to serve. And I'm so glad and so honored to have watched my mother and grandmother serve. And then I became a servant. But yet what I remembered about being a servant was there was a time when Jesus himself kneeled down to wash the disciples' feet. And as he began to serve them by washing their feet, even the people who were about to set him up, Jesus had already told them days before how they would, as Peter would deny him, and how Judas would turn on him. And yet here, the greatest man to have ever walked this earth, whose name is Christ, which means love, was there washing the feet and serving his own enemies, knowing his own fate. Christ showed us the greatest example of servitude. And that sometimes when we're serving others, God is building us up into something greater, far greater. Because where you decrease, God increases. And he begins to activate the gifts inside of you by your faith, by your humility, and certainly by your servitude. Yes, I was made to serve. And here I am now serving God's people by giving them God's word. Not my word, but by his word and spirit and truth. I'm so grateful to be a servant of the Lord, of the Most High God. And I will continue all my life to serve those who God sends along my journey, because it's not of me, not about pride, It's not about status when we're walking with God, because all the things on earth, they're wonderful. But as a servant, I understand that all my rewards are waiting for me in the kingdom. And therefore, I stand with honor and glory and humility, knowing that when I serve, God is preparing for me. So awesome. Even in Psalms 23, when it says, he prepares a table before my enemies. My cup runneth over. And therefore, I don't worry about people looking at whatever I do and say, yeah, how much money you make? How you making it? Because I've already been written in the book of Lamb. Begin to serve others in any form or fashion. Don't look at people that come across you in life, because it might be an angel that you may look down upon. But yet that same person may have a word from God from you. And because of your ignorance and your ideology of the world, you may miss a word. One word from God can set the atmosphere. But you got to humble yourselves and show love, show Christ-like love to all of God's people, loving them, sharing with them, walking with them, talking with them, but yes, serving them. Yes, I was made to serve because I was made in the image of God. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Minister G.L. Harden, and we'll see you real soon. Peace and God bless.